everyone, welcome back to another episode of Misfits Room. As you can tell by the video aspect right now, I am in a different location. As I said in the last episode, I was going to be going on a trip, and I am currently here on my trip. I am in Ohio, if anybody was curious. I am in the state of Ohio, city, Cincinnati. I think that's correct. Yeah, I decided to go to the coldest place right now for a vacation, and I don't know why. Okay, and what was that? Okay. I also don't have. I'm like flustered right now because I didn't really prepare much for today's episode. I just wanted to get an episode out there. Second of all, I don't have all of my proper equipment, so I'm currently holding my microphone in my hand right now. So how that's gonna turn out, I don't know, but we're gonna see. And I'm kind of outrunning the sun right now because earlier, about an hour ago, when I was going to record, I was trying to set everything up and got distracted or whatever, and I had perfect lighting sitting in front of the window. But now I've had to move slightly to the left of the window. As you can see, as of right now, where I put my hand up, it is blinding light right here where I was supposed to be sitting. So I'm just a little off-centered, sitting on the bed right now, holding the microphone, and at a loss of words because I don't know where to start or where to begin or what to talk about. Man, I guess let's just start off with the obvious thing is that yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm in Ohio. I'm here for 2 weeks. I've been here Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday. I've been here for 4 days, and I don't leave until the beginning of December. So this is what I'm dealing with right now. I was going to try and curate an episode today, but I figured I would just talk about my trip, I guess. And if that doesn't interest you, I guess I'll see you on next week's episode. But it was really, really hard just trying to curate something to talk about today, only because a lot of like weird things are happening in social media that I would rather not talk about, like the Rittenhouse verdict, how all of the charges were dismissed and whatever. Like I was just like, what? I'm not even in the mood for that. The Ahmaud Arbery case, they're currently in like deliberations right now, and I know that considering how the Rittenhouse case went, I'm pretty sure that the Ahmaud Arbery case is going to be the exact same. These white people on it. And this is exactly why I was not going to go into it. So I just figured, why not try and talk about everything that led up to my trip, and hopefully it's an hour long and it entertains you, whether or not you need entertainment for the next hour or so. I'm hoping. But I guess let's just start from the beginning. So I left on Friday. I woke up like regular. I went to work. I should have called out, but I decided to be a good girl and go to work because that's what goody two shoes like me do. You know, I could have done it, but I didn't. So, okay. But I woke up early, like around, I don't know, 6:30, got ready for bed, mostly because I couldn't like sleep. When I have like trips or like something exciting to do, the moment I wake up, I'm awake and like I have to go. And it's like same thing like with like when you were younger, when you were waiting for like Christmas to roll around or whatever. The night before Christmas, it's so hard to fall asleep, and yet so hard to stay asleep when you get up too early. So that's what my Friday was like. So I woke up early, went to work, did the whole whatever, and like the entire day I was just like so anxious and antsy and so ready to just go that I don't know, just working all day on Friday was just like so aggravatingly annoying, but I did it anyways. And then I think I worked up until like maybe 3-ish, 45, and then I left because I need what you need like 2 hours, they say. That you should need to show up 2 hours before you are scheduled to get on your flight and leave. And I was trying to make up time for that because I had to go home, walk my dog, and change and do the whole whatever. And honestly, I miss my dog so much. When I planned on just coming here on a plane, I was gonna originally just like drive here on my own in my broke down little yellow Kia, but um I flew instead, and I was gonna bring my dog if I was gonna drive, but to bring a dog nowadays with the whole COVID thing, they're gonna make you do extra hoops and jump through this and sign this and pay this. I couldn't do it, and I wasn't gonna. I couldn't. So I had to leave my poor dog home, and I'm just hoping and praying he's not depressed. I was gonna buy like one of those little doggy cameras where you can like check in on him every once in a while, but I was like, I just little helicopter mom. I'm not gonna do that. I know for a fact my mom and my sister are gonna take care of him just as fine, I hope, and I'm gonna come back to an alive and very well and happy dog. We shall see, but as of right now, I'm in another state and I can't do anything about it. So I'm hoping that he's okay. But yeah, I went home that Friday afternoon, and oh my god, it was freaking raining. It was raining so bad that the way that we were gonna take to go to the highway was so backed up, and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, we gotta take like a shortcut or something. But we left, brought the dog with me, had to bring my baby with me to at least say goodbye to me at the airport. So we're on our way to the airport, and it's just like I was so anxious the entire day because I did not want to get on the plane because I'm just so petrified of the plane. I couldn't. I've been on planes before multiple times, but it's been so long since I've been on a plane that I was just having a panic attack. All ever since I woke up at 6 a.m., I was like, I can't. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why? And then things that happened on our way to the airport where it's just like somebody, the universe, I don't know what it is, but they're telling me to turn around and go home. They're telling me to turn around and go home. So instances happened where we were cut off by cars, and it was just like so like I swear to you, the slightest bit of just this much inches, like an inch, and it could have been a whole different story, and I would have probably either gotten into an accident or missed the flight because of a small fender bender or whatever. But thankfully that did not happen. And then like just everything that I didn't want to happen was happening because I was just first and foremost, I was more anxious of being late, even though I didn't want to get on the plane and I was scared of that. The main thing that I wanted to get through first was just not being late. That was the main thing. And then after I got there, then I was like, okay, now I'm scared to get on the plane. But the first thing was that I didn't want to miss the flight or get there late or whatever it was. So on her way there, my mom's like, oh, because the traffic started to like get a little fuller and a whole bunch of brake lights, and I was just starting to like, rock back and forth and get a little worried. And then my mom all of a sudden goes, oh, Houston, we have a problem. I'm like, no, we don't. What are you talking about? And mind you, we're making good on time. We're probably like 10 minutes late, but that's, 10 minutes out of the 2 hours that you're supposed to be there. I was like, it's whatever, it's fine. So she's like, oh, Houston, we have a problem. And I was like, a problem where? I mean, the traffic is fine, but what problem? She's like, oh, my car just flashed, and I think we need some gas. I mean, I got 2 lines, which means I got a couple miles, but I need some gas. And I'm like, in my mind, I literally exploded, but I kept it to myself because I didn't want to have the rest of the 30 to 45-minute drive to the airport to be just hostile. But in my mind, I was just like, Mary, you knew that we were going to the airport today, and we could have gotten gas before we got on the highway. There are several gas stations before you get on the highway. Why are you? I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I was like, oh, well, how many miles do you have left? And I think she said she had like 60 or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, the airport's like 30 miles away, yada, yada, yada. I think, she's like, yeah, we'll make it. I just make sure we'll get gas later. I'm just like, oh my God, she literally wants my heart to fall out of my ass because I was freaking out. Oh my God. So 2 almost accident laters and a heart attack with the gas later. I'm making it there, and it starts to hit me once I start to pull into the terminal, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. And mind you, this is the first time ever that I've ever flown by myself. The very last time that I went on a plane, I technically was by myself, but I also had my little sister, and there was just someone else there with me. This time I was all alone. I was all alone and I was freaking out. And I was like, I don't know. It just felt so weird and so awkward. It felt like I was doing this for the first time ever, even though I've been on planes and I've done this so many times, but it was the first time that I went on by myself. So I was legit freaking out. So I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I took my bags out, hugged my mom, said goodbye to my dog. My dog was hella confused. My dog did not know what the F was going on. My poor baby. I hope he's not home and depressed. I bought a whole bunch of treats and his favorite food before I left, so I'm hoping and praying that he's all right. I'm sure he'll be fine. But I gave my hugs and I said my goodbyes, and then I made it my way inside the airport. And thank God, I guess the plane that I was going on wasn't really just the line wasn't busy, I guess is the right word. So I went, I paid for my carry-on in advance and everything. I did everything in advance, so I didn't have to like worry, but I was also worried that oh my God. I was also worried at the fact that I did everything ahead of time, that I thought that I didn't have the proper carry-on size. That was like freaking me out. So that was another added anxiety that I didn't really need, even though I was well enough. I over-prepared, and over-preparing also like freaked me out because I didn't want anything to go wrong. But they didn't even look at my bag or anything. They're like, oh, you paid for your carry-on, go ahead and go. And I was like, I sat here and measured this carry-on bag to make sure that it was 11 by 22 by 19 or whatever it is. I made sure it was the exact measurements that I saw on the internet, and all you did was look at it and said, all right, go. What? I was so heated, but I was like, you know what, it's whatever, it's fine. So I go on to security, me and my heavy backpack. I go to security and I'm passing by, whatever, or the lady at the check-in told me, go to this gate, and then when you get to the gate, blah 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 blah, and all this other stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So there are other multiple like check-in desks for other airlines, and like the whole setup was just like, I don't know, it was just weird. So I'm going and I'm trying to find the security line, but there are like 5 different security lines, and I'm like, am I making this up in my mind, or are they all separate to each airline, or does it really matter which one I go to? And I don't know. So I just went to the furthest one, and I went, and the nice security guy was like, oh, your birthday's tomorrow, happy birthday. I was like, oh, thank you. And then somebody behind me was on the phone, and I guess that person heard the security guard tell me, oh, happy birthday. And then the guy on the FaceTime was like singing happy birthday, and I'm just like, what is going on? It was so funny. Went through security, and the exact thing that I did not want to happen happened. The security person who sits at the little desk, you know, with the conveyor belt where you put all your luggage and your shoes and whatever, the person that sits behind that machine and looks at everything, I get my backpack comes out clean, I get my shoes, my sweater, whatever, I put everything on, and then my carry-on case gets pulled to the side, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Out of all things, it was running smoothly, and it's like time after time, there's always something wrong with the car, and then no gas, and then being lost, and now you're taking my carry-on bag. Oh my goodness. So I'm just standing there looking at it and looking at my bag and waiting for someone to come around, and after like 10 minutes not even 10 minutes, probably like 5 minutes, but I got fed up, and I was like, somebody has to do their job. So I'm like looking at the guy sitting there who's moving all the bags along, and I'm like, hello, even though I had plenty of time to go to my gate and wait, but I was just like, I just didn't want to prolong the process. And I was like, if you're gonna take something out of my bag or whatever you're gonna do, just do it now, so I don't have to waste a whole 10-20 minutes waiting on it. Like, I was just like amped up, and I was like, just do something. So finally they come and they get a guy to open my bag, and then he's like, oh, what is that thing that I'm looking at in in the monitor? And when I'm looking at it, I was like, it was my microphone. My microphone is the reason why I got stopped at the security, but it looked like this dildo looking thing, or I don't know, you said it, I didn't say it, you said it. So he was like, so what is that? And I'm like, out of all things that I thought that they would stop me for, they stopped me for my microphone. I have this audio interface that I record on. It's like let me see if I can lift it up. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like this box thing that this honestly looks like a literal bomb to me. And I was so worried to bring that because I don't know, I overreact with everything. But I was more so nervous to bring that because I thought they were going to stop me over that. And they didn't. They stopped me over the microphone. And I'm like, thank God it's that. thank goodness. And then he opened it and I was like, oh yeah, it's my microphone. And he's like, oh, do you make music? And I'm like, yeah. Just to like bypass the conversation, I was just like, yeah, I do. All right, cool. Close the suitcase and I was on my way. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? I waited here and I waited here and you went back and forth and watched me and locked eyes on me knowing that I was looking at my suitcase. You helped me put the suitcase in the bin and you let me stand there for no reason, and everybody was just passing by me and I was just getting filled with anxiety and nobody said nothing to me. Love it. Gotta love it. But anyways, everything was fine. Got my luggage or whatever, carry on, and I went about my day. And I took, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, the gate, it's so weird how airports are like built, because when you drive into the terminal, you feel like you're on the ground level, right? But then when I was inside past security, you have to get on an escalator going down because that's where all the gates are, which is just so weird to me. I don't know the whole systems and I don't know. But I went downstairs and I made my way to my gate and I had a whole hour to kill. And I was just like, man, I wish I was like 20 minutes late so I didn't have to wait this long. So as always, waiting around and not doing anything. When I get bored, I eat out of boredom. So I went and I sat down, right? And I found a very good, perfect spot where there was nobody around me, or there was enough chairs where if I sat in the middle, no one's going to sit right next to me. Oh, and the sun is moving and it's catching up to me. So I'm just going to move this way a little bit. But, yeah, I had a perfect good spot and I sat down and I was just chilling. And then 10 minutes into waiting, I get the hungry boredom appetite where I'm bored. And I was like, dang it, I gotta go get something to eat. Excuse me, but you're not really supposed to leave your luggage unattended, as the intercom will tell you every 10 minutes, do not leave your luggage unattended. If your luggage is unattended, the attendants or whatever that are here are going to come and take your baggage away and yada, yada, yada. So I was just like, oh, fuck. I really don't feel like my backpack was so heavy. It was so heavy that I swear to you, I thought I was going to break my neck. And I was just like, I don't want to put this heavy backpack on and push around my stupid carry-on suitcase and go get a freaking snack. And I was like, I really want to drink too. Like, I really wanted to drink because all of that happened, it just like messed with me to my core. And I was like, you know what, I probably just need a drink to get over this and then I'll be fine. So I sat there for another 10 minutes debating it, trying to kill time, but I still had like 40 minutes to wait. So I was like, you know what, fine. I leaned over to some complete stranger lady and I was like, hey, I really want a snack, but it's my suitcase and my bag is so heavy. Do you mind just for 5 quick seconds? I'm gonna go right here, 5 seconds. I swear, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. And she looked at me and she's like, you know what? Yeah, sure. No, it's fine. It's all right. And I was like, cool. I was like, I was gonna leave it here if you said no, anyways. But I know you're watching, so I'm just gonna go real quick. So I went real quick and I got myself some Fritos and a Coca-Cola. Basic, I know. I feel like that's my travel snack every time. Literally anything or anywhere that I go, like for a trip, my snack is always Fritos and Coca-Cola. And I love Fritos because nobody else likes Fritos. I like getting the snacks and the foods that no one likes just so that I don't have to share. Can you see that I have a problem? I have a problem. So I got those and I sat my happy ass down and I waited for my plane to arrive, and plane after plane after plane, it finally came and it was time to board. And I'm going to tell you the events that happened on the plane right after this short break. Alright, and we're back. I'm gonna make this quick because I have my camera sitting literally right under the sun and I just touched it and it is literally getting so hot it might just turn off on me. Hopefully not, but let's just get through the story. It's gonna be a short episode today. I'm so sorry, but I gotta make do with what I got. So Basically, I'm getting on the plane now. I've gone through all the things I need to do, showed my boarding pass. Finally, I'm on the plane. And I'm on the plane for a good 5 minutes maybe when I'm realizing like nobody's sitting next to me. So I'm like, oh, perfect, great. I can probably sprawl out and just relax and, just gather my thoughts or whatever. And because I picked a window seat and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So then people are coming on and coming on. And then this woman with her child goes, excuse me, those are my seats to the seat across from me. So there's 3 seats here. I'm at the window. So 1, 2. Then there's the aisle. And then there's 3 more seats on the other side of me. So some lady's like, excuse me, you're in my seat, yada, yada, yada. And then they look at their boarding passes and they realize that they're supposed to be sitting next to me. So lo and behold, I get this married couple that comes and sits next to me. Fine, it's fine or whatever. The plane was just small that I felt a little bit claustrophobic, but I was like, it's fine. It's fine. As long as I just lean over and close my eyes and listen to my podcast, it's going to feel like nothing. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So another 5 minute passes and I'm listening to my podcast in my headphones. And then like for some reason, you kind of almost feel the commotion happening around you when you don't necessarily hear it. So I'm looking around and literally right in front of me, I'm telling you, omen after omen after omen telling me not to fly keeps happening, because right when I look up, I see a woman on the floor. She has collapsed. She has passed out. She is not feeling well, and everybody's just surrounding her. And I'm like, oh Lord. And it's like literally right in front of our seats. So it's like I felt even more claustrophobic because there were so many people around her, and which would make them very close to me. And I was way at the window, and I was just like, oh my God, this is it. This is how I go. This is why all of the things that are bound to happen are bad. All of the bad things that I would not want to happen are happening right now. Why? So I don't know what it was. I think some person, I don't know, she probably had like diabetes or she had low blood sugar or something like that. And unfortunately for her, one of the flight attendants was like, she's going to have to get off the plane. Like, even if she starts to feel better, like the man downstairs, she was saying, the man downstairs or whatever it was, he doesn't want anybody on the plane. If they're sick, it doesn't matter. Like, she needs to get off. So sadly, she did not fly on that day. So sad for her. I'm hoping she got refunded or something. I don't know, or got a different change of flight, because that would suck. And then I remembered, if I don't get my anxiety attacked self and just my hyperventilating person, like if I don't chill the F out, I'm gonna be the next person getting kicked off this flight. So I'm gonna need to chill. So I just, I chilled down a little bit, drunk some of my soda, and I was like, you know what, it's gonna be fine. And once the plane started moving, that's when everything really started to kick in. When I mean it started to kick in, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. There's no going back. I can't tell the plane to stop. I can't do nothing. Once the plane takes off, I am stuck on this plane for the next 2 hours. So the plane starts making its way around the runway. It starts, doing all the things that it does. And then finally, it's at the final resting stop. I think we were there for like 3 minutes before it actually started to like go like speed and like finally take off. So when it did that, boy, oh boy, was I scared. I was good for like the first minute. And then after, like, we still kept going. Like, when you feel the plane go up, anxiety set in immediately. And I think I had, like, tears coming out of my face. And I was like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. I don't like it. I don't like planes. So I literally leaned over to this person who I swear to you just might be the... it's like she's probably like 40% not aggressive MAGA, make America great again, MAGA Trump people. She's probably one of those people, but she wasn't very like in face about it. She was, the whole face mask thing or whatever. She was making it to her and her husband. She was like, well, blah, 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 talking with her husband about the whole mask thing, but she wasn't very aggressive about it. But I'm pretty sure she's like 20% MAGA, right? So she's next to me, and I'm like, well, fuck. I'm scared of shit, and I don't give a fuck what she supports. I am scared of shit. And I leaned over to her and I said, listen, I'm sorry, but this is my first time being on a plane in a long time. I just can I just hold your arm? Because if I'm gonna go down, I'd rather go down holding. I just need to hold a human being at this point. So she was like, oh honey, don't worry about it. So she let me hold her arm until we got to the plane just leveled a little bit, and then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let go now. And then for 2 hours, we just cruised like that. And yeah, pretty much. But I think she misunderstood when we were like going up because the noise were so loud. I think she misunderstood and made it seem like it was my first time on a plane. Then, like, she's trying to like teach me everything, like, oh, this and this happens, and when we hit land or when we hit the floor, the planes come out, and yada yada. Like, she was like explaining the whole airplane thing to me. I was like, lady, I've been on a plane before, but like, I haven't been on a plane in a long time. But I just kind of like, I just let her do her thing because I just didn't want to ruin the whole. I was like, yeah, yeah, cool, cool, nice to know, good to know, good to know. The flight attendants came around offering, the usual, the snacks and the drinks, and I was these close into ordering a drink, and then I said, you know what? Being scared and all, ain't no way my mind is gonna fool me into buying a drink that will probably cost $10 in the air and $3 on the ground. I said, hell no. And I did not get a drink. But 2 hours later, I did some crosswords. I left my, was it crosswords? Word search. I did a word search, did a couple of those, like a, like a nerd. And we touched down. And we got here at around like 11:45-ish on Friday. My birthday is Saturday, or was Saturday, the 20th, and literally made it in time before my birthday. Touched down by the time 12 o'clock rolled around, and I was making my way out of the airport. My family and everybody called me literally at 12 o'clock on the dot. I didn't even realize it until they called me, screaming and singing me happy birthday. It was fun. And then I got into the car, and we were making our way here to where I am currently now. And it's just so weird how birthdays are. Let's just talk about that. How weird birthdays are when like it happens, because you feel 22. You just, nothing feels different when your birthday rolls around. Like, you anticipate it so much, and it's gonna be so fun and exciting, and then when it finally happens, it's just like, oh well, it was just another day. It was one of those things for me. Like, I don't feel 21 anymore. I don't feel 19. I don't feel 18, 19, or 20, 21 anymore, but I also don't feel 23. I still feel 22. I know probably midway next year, somewhere around April, I'll start to feel the effects of being 23. But right now, I don't feel any different, which is kind of funny how that works. But yeah, I had a I'm saying very chill, the chillest of chill birthday. I literally stayed in this room for the most part. I just had a whole bunch of drinks, a whole bunch of food, and I just kind of laid around. And honestly, I appreciate when people, wish me happy birthdays and the whatever, and post on my Facebook timeline and text me and do all of that. But literally, for once in my life, on that birthday, for some reason, I just wanted to disappear and not talk to anybody. I was so far removed and away from all of my family and friends that, like, I literally didn't have to respond to anyone, which was great. So I just kind of, like, didn't respond, like, until like late at night, or like if it was early in the morning, yeah, sure, fine. But like, I loved just disappearing for a day finally, without having to just, I don't know, talk. Just like, I just didn't want to talk, I just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to disappear for a day and just have my own me time, because this is like my first actual vacation away from my family, like alone, which is kind of crazy, and I'm honestly enjoying it. Although the cold every now and then, it's a little tricky, because the sun comes out, and like right now, sitting in this room, it's like sun's ablazing, and I'm hot, and I'm running away from the sun. As you can see, it keeps getting brighter. Speaking of, I might just gonna move myself over here, because it just keeps on catching up to me. But yeah, the sun is just so deceiving, because it feels so hot, but I know if I go outside right now, it is going to be so flipping cold, and I am not ready for it. I'm not, but I want to go out and explore. So actually, once I end this podcast, I'm gonna see what I can do, and I'm gonna go outside and just do just a tiny bit of exploring, just a little tiny bit. What else did I do? Yes, I disappeared on my birthday, didn't really do much, just stayed at home. And then the day after, I actually like went out, but it was kind of like gloomy and rainy, that I couldn't really do much. I just took a couple pictures here and there, but it was fun. The cold weather though just really creeps up on you, and hoping and praying that it just snows at least once, just one time. I've only seen snow ever once. My last trip when I actually came to Ohio, which was like years ago. Kind of want to see it just one more time, for the next, and I'll be satisfied for the next 5 years. If I see snow at least once on this trip, even if it's just a little teeny weeny bit. But I honestly doubt it. The forecast says that it's going to be fairly sunny for the rest of the time being here. I think it only explicitly says that it's going to rain for sure on Thanksgiving, which is 2 days away, and then the rest is going to be like sunny, which is a little but we shall see. And if it doesn't, whatever, it'll be fine. It's cool. But yeah, what else is there to say that I haven't said already? Not really much. It's a very quiet town here. Um Literally, I think I've heard one ambulance for the first time in all of my stay here go by. There's not really a lot of noise. It's fairly quiet all the time here, which is nice. Um that's pretty much, it's very quiet. I like it. It's very quiet. There's rarely, every time I open the window, I rarely see anybody like outside, which is weird. Every now and then I'll see a person walking their dog, but that's like early in the morning, which is nice. Um I do kind of wish that I was home so I could like decorate, because this right now, this week, right in the middle of like Thanksgiving or whatever, it's like prime time for me to like decorate and do all the whole Christmas decorations. But I'm here right now and I'm not gonna decorate here, which I'm not, because I'm not gonna be here for Christmas. So I'm missing those days, because I know my mom and my sisters they're gonna do that now or whatever, we'll see. And I'm also missing my sister's birthday. For the first time in her life, she wants to finally, or she's allowing my mom to actually throw her a party. She's turning 16. And I'm not gonna be there because it's on the Sunday of the week before I leave. So next Sunday coming up is when she's having her party, and I don't come back until the following Sunday, which sucks, but what can I do? I already planned this much in advance, and then her party was like the last minute. So I mean, what can I say? But yeah, besides that, I mean, I'm just here. I mean, I don't know. I wish there was more for me to like talk about and report on, but like nothing really happens here, which is kind of nice. And Thanksgiving is a couple days away. I'm still debating on what I want to do for Thanksgiving. I was gonna do a chicken instead of a turkey because it's just not that many people here. And then I realized the chicken might be a little too much. So I was gonna make a soup, but that requires me going to the store, and I don't really have a car. So we're just gonna make it up and see what happens. But the Thanksgiving shopping definitely has to happen tomorrow, because I'm sure all of the stores are gonna be closed on even just Thursday morning to just get a couple stuff. I know for a fact Target is gonna be closed, and Target is like the closest thing to me. There are other stores here, but a little iffy on that. So we're just gonna have to see. But I do plan to make something for Thanksgiving, just a nice little comfort food, have some wine, chillax, and go about the rest of my vacation. But yeah, wow, this episode is pretty short. Jeez, I was at least hoping for a good 45, but I guess we're not gonna get there. um I'm trying to think, is there anything else? There's really not much going on. I was gonna talk about for some reason I put this on my document to talk about today, but it was the only thing besides me being like, besides my whole trip, besides everything that I talked about the trip, this is the only other thing on the document that I was going to talk about, and that is that Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian are quote unquote dating. And I just found it, I honestly, I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. And if it's a publicity stunt, great. I think it's cool. All in all, if it's real or not real, I think it's amazing. I think it's great, and I think it's funny. I love how all the sisters kind of like date the same type of people in a way, intentional or not. Like with Courtney and Travis, and with who's the other people, with Kim and Pete. And it's just I don't know, and the whole Machine Gun and Megan Fox, like the whole, just the I don't know, everybody's trying to look, they all look the same to me is what I'm trying to get at. Megan Fox in a weird third reality way, where Megan Fox and Machine Gun kind of look like Courtney and Travis, and also Kim and Pete wanted a little piece of that whole the pairing of the two people. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. But if it is real, and I hope it works out, and if it's not, they knew what they were doing. Come on. Are they all gonna? I wonder if they're all just gonna swap out and get all these white people in their families in their mix. I wouldn't be surprised if the mama Kris Kardashian dumps Corey Gamble and gets a new little white boy. I wouldn't be surprised. Man, can only dream or think about what Khloe's gonna do, because Khloe's always been a wild card. She's always been a wild card. And Travis Scott is locked in with Kylie. I'm sorry, ain't no. Well, I don't see it ending anytime soon, but the possibilities are endless, honestly. But that was the only extra thing that I was gonna talk about on today's episode, which is hilarious. Kim and Pete Davidson. I think that's funny. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this episode today right now because it is 1:18, and I'm expecting an Instacart delivery because I don't have a car to get anywhere, and I was not going to walk across the street because the weather was not looking very promising. As of talking about the weather, let's just look at the weather right now so you guys know what I'm dealing with. It is currently 39 degrees in this city of Cincinnati. The highest it's going to get is 40 degrees, and that's at 4 p.m. And then it's going to go right back down. I'm not made for this weather. I'm a Florida girl through and throughout. I'm not made for this. So we're just going to see. We're going to put some socks on or whatever. We're going to figure this out. But thank you guys so much for listening to this very short episode of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you guys next week. I'm sure I'm going to come back with something very much fun and amazing. And also go check out my YouTube channel. I am currently vlogging my entire 2-week trip. I already have one vlog that is actually supposed to go up in like what looks like maybe 40 minutes, actually, now that I'm remembering. So yeah, go find me on my YouTube page. I will link it somewhere down in the description below. And go ahead and follow me and subscribe to me there, and you can continue to follow me while I'm not on the podcast. That's gonna be so much fun. I'm doing so many just random things, I guess, just exploring this state, I should say. And yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this episode of the podcast on YouTube. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, don't forget to write a review and rate whatever you do with podcasts, and follow the socials, Misfits Room, and I will talk to you guys next episode. Thank you for listening. Bye.